I'm Von Miller, and this is Like a Farmer.
Hey y'all, it's Pat. Welcome to another episode of Like a Farmer. Bills Mafia, I am back in Buffalo. And yes, I have two-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 50 MVP, Mr. Von Miller. Von, thanks for coming on the show today, man.
Howdy, guys, man. Thank you for having me, man. Like a Farmer, I had to come on here, man. I had to, talk to you guys, and it's a joy and a pleasure to be on the show.
I can't wait to talk about it. I know your roots run deep in rural America coming from Texas, but even what you're doing now off the football field, you have the passion for farming, so we're going to talk about it. But I want to start off with just where you grew up. You grew up in Texas.
Yep.
And, how was that? Texas is one of my favorite states.
Man, I grew up in Texas, Dallas, Texas. I got family in West Texas, like Midland, Odessa area. Got family in East Texas, Longview, Gladewater area, Tyler. So I was always out in the sticks, man, and I learned how to hunt and fish before I could even read or write. Learned how to shoot a BB gun before I could read or wite, man. I was out deer hunting and fishing and bass fishing. Been doing that my whole entire life. That's where I come from now. My dad lives on 8 acres, and I bought the 8-acre lot next door. And my brother's going to buy the 4-acre lot next door. So we have like this huge compound. That's how
All in Texas, right?
That's in Texas. Yeah. So that's how they do it in the country, man. So
yeah.
When the idea came, I was like, man, it's kind of right next to mom and dad. But as you get older and you start having kids, you're like, man, I want to be close to my family, man. And those are my roots, and that's where I come from.
And it's cool to see y'all building that compound, and it's not, home development coming in and building houses.
Mm-hmm.
You are buying this ag land, and you're keeping it ag, which is really cool. So I love that.
We got it's a pond. It's actually a acre pond on my dad's property, and it feeds over to my property, and it's an 1.5-acre pond. And then that pond feeds over into a smaller pond, about another half acre, about like 0.75 acre pond on my brother's land too. So it's just all the fish, they stay right there with us, man. We got them stocked. Awesome. We got them stocked, man, and they stay right there in the family.
Are you, if you had to choose one or the other, are you going fishing or hunting?
I'm going fishing, man. It's hunting is like an all-day thing, and I've been in a bow hunting for about 3 years now. And
cool.
Once you go bow, like
you're not going back.
No, you're not going back. Like it just feels
that.
It just feels like it doesn't just pull out a rifle and shoot the animal. It doesn't do it for me anymore. Like once you get buck fever with that bow and you start shaking with that bow and you get your first buck, man, it ain't nothing like it.
That's cool. I've read before the hunting and fishing part, you've taken some NFL players out to do some hunting and fishing. Yeah. Any cool stories from that?
Yeah, man. So I was in Denver, and one of the really cool parts about Denver is they have all of these streams. And I wasn't really into fly fishing or anything like that. But out there I got into fly fishing, and I started bringing all my buddies out, and you get the competition out, and I actually have this little trophy. And it says Mr. Fishes. So when we go out, whoever catches the most fishes, gets that.
Yeah.
It gets kind of competitive. Like if I see one of my teammates catch a fish, I go over there in the spot and I start fly fishing right there and start needing line right there, and I catch a fish and everybody get mad like, hey, what you going? You in my spot? It gets competitive, man. But it's fun, man. I love being outdoors, whether it's hunting, fishing, golfing, camping. I just love being outdoors.
That's awesome. And you being the athlete that you are, you're choosing the challenging aspects of hunting and fishing. You mentioned bow, and then now you're talking about fly fishing. Those are the two hardest things when it comes to fishing and hunting. You're not just grabbing a reel and tossing it out there.
Yeah, I think once you start, challenging yourself, in those areas, it's hard to really go back to just bobber with the big perch and all that stuff. That's fun. That's exciting. Crappie fishing. I started on that. I still love to do that. But if I have my choices, man, I go fly fishing or I go bow hunting in a minute.
I love that. Coming from rural America and just reading up on you, Von, you've had supportive parents your whole life, and I was reading something that they never miss a game.
Yep.
And back when you're playing Little League football, was it that your mom had to stay and kind of hold? Was it a nebulizer?
Oh yeah, doing research. Yeah, doing research. Yeah, Mom and dad, super parents. Like, I don't want to get emotional here, but they've always been there for me. My mom has never missed a game, whether it was football games, basketball games, track meets. Even when I was in the choir, like I can remember back in the second grade and
Choir, huh?
and you singing
Nice.
like you got the choir. Like if it was 3 parents out there, my mom was one of them. In PTA meetings, my mom was always there, and I can count on one hand on the events that my dad has missed. You know, he's the breadwinner, so he has to work, but very supportive parents. And that story, yeah, my mom, she had a generator. She would hook the generator up to her car, and then run a huge extension cord from her car down through the bleachers. She would get there before the game started, down through the bleachers, onto the sideline, so I can do my nebulizer if I had an asthma attack on the sideline. So
Golly.
she did whatever it took to get me to this point, man. And I really appreciate my mom. Thanks, mom and dad. I really appreciate you.
Yeah,
Man.
shout out mom and dad. That's awesome. So you got 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
They old enough to play football yet?
They're not old enough to play football. Val, he just turned 2 about 3 weeks ago, and Vic is he'll be 7 months. He's 7 months today.
Oh,
So
nice.
he's
Happy 7 months.
He's 7 months today. I named Valor. I was trying to go with a V name, and Valor. I just love what it stands for,
Yeah.
showing bravery or courage in the face of danger, especially in battle. And victory, it just happened. He was born on February 7th, the same day that we won Super Bowl 50.
Okay.
So I was like,
He was born on Super Bowl 50.
he was born 6 years after we
Okay.
won
Yep.
Super Bowl 50, but on the same
That's
day.
awesome. Yeah.
So I was like, man, I'm gonna name him Victory, and we got Victor, Valor, and so I can say Vic, Victor, I can say Valor, Val.
Wow. I
So
love
it's
that.
Vic, Val, and I'm Von.
Fine. That's perfect. I'm not going to let this go. So choir. I mean, are you...
I couldn't
You
sing
still-
at all. You know, you got those kids up there. You just, you just doing it. Like when I tell a story, man, I don't even know what we were singing, but I just remember my mom up there saying, "Pay attention." Like when the kids up there singing, you start like doing stuff. Shoot, like pay attention. Like, and I would get right and sing along with the song and stuff. Know how second graders is like. I wasn't really thinking about like was it cool or not. It was just something to do.
I love that. You started playing football in 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So you play football. Then you go to Texas A&M. I'm a Gator, so go Gators.
The crazy thing is, Florida was my number 2 school. Like, I went back and forth.
Why did you not go?
Man, I went back because it was my mom. I knew it would really put a strain on my mom
Okay.
to travel. I knew she would make every game, but
Yeah.
just the strain to go to Gainesville, like, and then come back, and then go to Gainesville and back, like, it was. I knew it would put a strain on my mom and my dad and really my whole family because everybody comes out and they just dropped this Netflix documentary like the what is it Kings of the Swamp or something like
Swamp
that.
Kings.
And my freshman year was 2007.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah. So you were going to be there in 07, and man, you got all the boys there because I'm from Polk County, so you have all the Polk County guys there are going there. The Pouncey boys and Ahmad and Rainey. I mean,
and you had Dunlap and Jarvis Moss. He had me on my official visit, and David Nielsen and Joakim Noah came, and like they brought all the big time stars to really get me to come there. And I remember sitting up in Coach Meyer's office, and it was him and Tim Tebow, and they were telling me how much they wanted me to come, man. And it was crazy because Coach Meyer was so nice, like didn't cuss, like was so nice, like. And then you see the documentary, it's like, man, like
I know
this guy was
they were going to war.
This guy was intense, but it was probably it was good for me because it was lawless. It was lawless down there for the Florida Gators, and it was so much stuff going on. And I was down at Texas A&M, and I ended up getting in trouble in Texas A&M. So I dodged the bullet. I made the right decision though.
Yeah, for sure.
It was one of the best decisions that I ever made, and to be an Aggie and go down there and be part of Aggie land and all the man. It was just thinking back on it, like I probably wouldn't even be a chicken farmer. We probably wouldn't even be having this podcast if I would have went to Florida.
true.
You know,
Because you go to A&M and you major in poultry.
I majored in poultry science, so
I feel like maybe you're gonna do that for an easy A.
yeah,
So I want
yeah, I was gonna do it. I was gonna do it for. I needed the class for my GPA, of course. Like
Yep.
like a lot of student athletes.
Yep.
Like I needed the class to raise my GPA, and the class averaged A minus. So I was like, man, I need this. Took meat production 101, and it was an easy class. Like it was an easy class. Like, and I'm falling asleep in there, and shout out to Dr. Farnell. That was my
Okay.
my professor, and he would make me stand up. He would make me stand up and wake me up, come to the front of the class, and really just talk about what we went over in that class. And in turn, I really like started to learn the process. And it was meat production first, and then you had a genetics class, and then I needed a couple more classes to make it my major. And I was like, man, why not? You go to college to find your plan B. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I fell in love with poultry science, I knew like if this football thing don't work out, like I could just go be a chicken farmer. I really fell in love with just the whole process, not just the financial element of it, but really producing a quality product.
Yep.
I really fell in love with the way Tyson and Sanderson Farms and Pilgrim's Pride and Butterball and how they built those industries up, and I felt like I could do the same thing. And I started out by taking an easy class. I built a chicken coop on my mom and dad's property, and
While in college.
I built one in college.
Yeah.
It was probably say 5,000 square feet. Started out with about 60 birds, and I just fell in love with it. And if you actually watch chicken, like or roosters, right? And if somebody calls you a chicken, it's supposed to be like you're a coward or you're scared. But if you actually sit and watch these roosters, like, man, they're the king of the yard. Like they walk around chest out, like, and I fell in love with it, man. And I got into the NFL and was able to partner with some guys and Paul Price and Cameron, and they had the same love of chicken as me, and partnered up, and before you know it, greener pastures.
Yeah. So before we get to greener pastures, so right after college, I mean, and you go into the NFL, but you're still doing stuff with chicken farming at that point, right? Mm-hmm. This was before greener pastures.
Yeah, this is before greener pastures. I was still going back to Texas A&M and contributing to the poultry science department, and I was still doing things with Texas A&M, and I really wanted to have my own chicken farm. And when I made that public, like, it was a lot of people saying, like, why would he want a chicken farm?
Yeah.
Do you see what chicken farms look like? And immediately I knew that if my name was attached to the poultry industry, I wanted to be proud about it. Like I wanted to have a chicken farm that I could be proud of, that I can invite people to see what's going on, because you look at some of these chicken operations and they don't want you to see what's really going on in
for
there.
sure.
And I wanted to be open. I wanted live streams on the houses that we had.
Yep.
And I wanted to I really wanted a product that I could be proud of.
Yeah.
And, immediately I wanted a humanely raised product. We transferred over to a pasture raised product, organic, non-GMO, like all of the certifications that you could possibly have. And nowadays, especially in 2023, people want to know
where their food's coming from,
where their food is coming from, and how it's produced.
Yep.
And I'm so proud of the humanely raised product. I'm so proud of the pasture raised certification that we have, all organic, non-GMO. And it's greener pastures is really, really something that I'm proud of, and I invite everybody who wants to come see down to check us out.
That's awesome. Are you still naming your chickens?
I've been doing this for a while, man, and I had some really, really old birds. I started my first flock about 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. So those birds have gone up to heaven.
Yep.
Those birds have gone on to heaven, and you just produce so many that I stopped naming them and I stopped putting numbers on them because we just had so many.
Yeah,
But,
you started growing your operation.
First couple, I had 18, Peyton Manning. He was the big rooster in there.
Yep, you had Peyton.
We used to call him Peyton. Then I had DeMarcus. We used to call him 94 in there. And I had an 88. I had an 88 rooster too. We only had 3. You can't have too many roosters in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't have too many roosters, and I had those 3 roosters, and those were my guys for sure.
That's awesome. Have you ever heard of chicken TikTok?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen any of that? They'll be walking around and chickens will be playing. These chickens play dead. Like these owners they build relationships with these chickens, and they have a whole TikTok stream on chickens. And they'll go outside, and the chickens will be playing dead. And then the person will walk up. Yeah, you think this chicken's dead, but it's just playing dead, and it wakes up and starts walking around. It's freaking hilarious.
Man, really just being in the industry and coming across people that love chicken like I love. Like I've met some very, very interesting, owners, and I've been to some very interesting operations, and people. They're not just a food product for a lot of people. They are pets. They're not even pets. They're family.
Yeah.
And, for the birds that I have in my house and in Ovilla and Dallas, they're family. Like we don't process any of those birds. Like they're family. I wouldn't even call them pets. They're family. We got a net over the top, like to keep the hawks away and owls away, and then we got electrified fence around it because you got coyotes and all these other predators too that come around. Like these are like my birds in Ovilla are really like family for me.
I love that. The 2 boys, you see them doing the football route or the farming route?
Man, I just want them to do whatever that makes them happy, man. And what I would push on them would not necessarily be playing football or anything that I've done. I would want them to just have the same passion that I've had for football and whatever they do.
Yeah.
Like, if they want to be a doctor, just be passionate about it. Want to be the best, like strive to be the best. Have purpose and intent over being a doctor. Like I just don't want, my boys to just, be an autopilot through life. And that would be the only thing that I would push on them is just have passion, just have purpose and intent. Well, what I love from them to play football, yeah. And wear number 40 and the other one wear 58, yeah, cool. What I want one of them to be the next Josh Allen and just wear number 5 or number 8 or 4 or 0, I want that. I think that'd be cool. But whatever they do, like I just want them to have purpose and intent and whatever. And for me, like if I could guide them in a direction, like I would want them to play golf, man. I would want them to be. I want them to be the Von Miller of golf.
Yeah.
Like, and you see like. What these guys are doing with the Live Tour and the PGA Tour, and it's not the golf of old. Like it's exciting now.
Yeah.
It's new. You got some.
It's a new game.
You got some cool guys: Brooks Koepka, Ricky Fowler, Sam Bennett. He's been killing it too, and just golf. It's not the golf of old. Like it is an interesting sport. You look at waste management and hole 16. It's rowdy. It's like a football game. It's the stadium hole
aspect of it.
And then Live has they're incorporating that into their tournaments too. So when they get of age, when they're 15, 16, 17 years old, who knows what the sport of golf will look like. So if I could push them in any direction, it'd be to play golf.
So Greener Pastures, you have some partners in that are athletes as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And this is Mahomes and Breeze.
Yep. So it was
like how does that even come about?
Man, I was
Vaughn just calls and says, "Hey guys, y'all want to be a chicken farmer?"
Man, I was very, very fortunate to just have the connection with Patrick Mahomes and Drew Brees, and we all have the same financial advisor. So Joey Festi, he made it happen. He really showed them not necessarily the financial aspect of it, but the love of producing a quality product and where that could go. Mm-hmm. And I think that was really the exciting part for Patrick Mahomes and the exciting part for Drew Brees, because when you're putting your name on a chicken farm, I want people to be proud of it.
For sure.
And I'm super proud of what we do. Like I said before, non-GMO, pasture raised, organic, humanely raised. That's really one of the proudest certifications that I have.
Which is not easy to get. I mean,
it is not easy to get, and it's not easy to keep. And
Yeah.
you just gotta. I showed them the love of it, and I showed them why I love it, and I'm sure Joey showed them why he loves it as well. And you get Patrick Mahomes on board and Drew Brees on board, and we all have a Super Bowl MVP. So
Yeah.
it started out as Greener Pastures, Happy Birds, Greener Pastures, Happy Birds, and now it's Greener Pastures, the Chicken of Champions.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
we all have a Super Bowl MVP, man. And if you really think about it, me, Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees sit down to pitch a contract with anybody. Like it should be very enticing to people that are looking for a high quality chicken product.
It's awesome. Vaughn, it's so cool because, like a farmer, right? The two main objectives when I started Like a Farmer was to celebrate the American farmer but educate the American people. And I'm fortunate enough to bring people like you on the show that can celebrate the farmer because you are a farmer, but you're also educating the people every single time that you have the chance to get on a camera to say, look, chicken doesn't just get dropped off by a UFO and just happens to be good. Like you're growing these animals to feed the world. And that's just, it's cool to have you be an advocate for the farmer.
It didn't start out like that for me, but it grew on me like that. And I think going to Texas A&M, agriculture and mechanical school, it just became me. It just became who I am. It became, my lifeblood. It started out as a plan B type of thing. Like if I didn't make it to the NFL, and now it's a plan A. Like I really enjoy each and every aspect of growing a high quality product for sure.
Do you have any other goals to be involved in within the agriculture space?
I want to eventually branch off and do beef as well. And
Cool.
And do pork, but that's a whole nother monster. That is a whole nother monster. You need way more land. You need a bigger production plant. It is a whole nother monster, and I really respect all the companies that do a really good job with the organic and pasture raised beef and pork and all of those in all those areas. And eventually, that's what I want to get to. I want to have greener pastures pork, greener pastures beef, greener pastures chicken. But right now, I'm really just trying to focus on the chicken aspect.
Yeah.
Of it. But I do have some really huge dreams, and hopefully we can get there, and I can see all those dreams come true.
And you're growing the chicken side too, because you have the restaurant. Is that correct? Wing Riot?
Wing Riot, yes, sir.
What's that about?
Wing Riot is just to make, you got all these other, especially here in Buffalo, you got all these other cool wing spots. And
yes, you do.
It was just a way to, make, eating wings and eating a pasture raised or organic product fun and cool. And that's why we have Wing Riot, and they have all different flavors, and they make it cool and they make it fun. But for me, I just like it buttermilk fried.
Yeah.
And you dip it in blue cheese, of course, because we here in Buffalo.
You're in Buffalo. You will get kicked out of a restaurant if you say ranch here in Buffalo.
You dip it in the blue cheese, man, and you really can't go wrong with that. And of course, I'm biased, but I really think you can taste the happiness of my birds' lives. They don't have one bad day. They only have one bad day. They live great lives, and they just have one bad day. It's just one bad day. And it's just what we have to do to really sustain and live as human beings. They just have one bad day, but from birth until then, it is a country club type of vibe for my birds.
I love that. What's your speaking of wing spots? What's your favorite wing spot here in Buffalo?
Favorite wing spot? I like Barbills. I really do. I like Barbills.
Josh said the same thing.
Man, I like Barbills, man. They do a good job. They got a great product. Great flavors.
Have you been to Wing Nuts?
I haven't.
Oh man, you have got to get to Wing Nuts. I have not been to Wing Nuts until yesterday. Went yesterday, met AJ over at Wing Nuts, and then I went again today, and those wings are unbelievable.
I would definitely check them out. One of the great things about Buffalo, of course, when you hear Buffalo, it's like, man, it gets cold there. Man, the weather's bad, and yeah, that's all true. But the people here in Buffalo, first and foremost, are some of the greatest people that you'll ever meet. Some of the greatest fans that you'll have rooting for you and the food here is unbelievable. Whether it's wings, whether it's Italian food, they even got good barbecue here. Which I'm from Texas.
Yeah,
and,
that's saying something.
To say, man, like Buffalo has good barbecue. It's great here. They got great Caribbean spots. Like, Chef Darren, he's from Jamaica, and he has a great Caribbean spot, and that is my favorite type of food. It's Caribbean food, and he does a great job. So, man, I got everything I need, man. I got my kids. I got great golf courses here.
Yep.
Great food, and I spend most of my time at the facility or with my guys, man. And if I have some free time, it's first with my kids, and then if I can play golf, I do that. And if I can't do that, I get on Call of Duty and game for a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want to talk a little bit about the football side. So, one big thing about you is the mental health aspect of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think, and I'm tying this back to Like a Farmer again too. I mean, suicide in farming is a big deal. I mean, it's something that unfortunately doesn't get talked about a lot, and this is why I've created this platform to talk about adversity like that. But give me the rundown on how you look at mental health and how you kind of relay that to playing football.
So first, it started for me really focusing on the mental health side of it in 2000, like late 2019 and the beginning of 2020. I didn't have the season that I felt like I should have. I still had 8 sacks, went to the Pro Bowl, but I felt like I had a lot more, and it was games that I'd be driving to the stadium. I got to pull over on the side of the highway, and I got to throw up. This is before I even get to the stadium. Like, I just perceived so much pressure. I just perceived the weight of being the franchise player of the Denver Broncos. Like, after Peyton Manning left, it was the Von Miller show. Like,
yeah, it was.
And, I just perceived so much pressure. Like, I wanted to go out, and I wanted to win the game as a defensive end. Like, I wanted to win the game, and I still feel like that. But not having a season that I wanted to, and really looking back on the things that I was doing, like being nervous before something that I love to do. Like, I love to play football, but being nervous and, being shaky and throwing up, like, on the side of the road on the way to the game, I felt like I needed to search for something. And, I'm super spiritual, I'm a huge Christian, and I just feel like it was just divine intervention. I was on Instagram one day, and I came across a guy named Trevor Mowad, and he does a lot of work with athletes, with mental training and mental coaching, and he did a great job with Russell Wilson. And I always admired the way Russ spoke and the way he talked about his team, and he was always positive. And did more research on Trevor Mowad. I hit him up on Instagram, and I was like, "Hey man, I would love to work with you." And he ended up passing away at the beginning of 2021, but I didn't know until he passed away that he wasn't even gonna take on any new athletes. Like, he was already full. He already had so many athletes. And my strength and conditioning coach, he was good friends with Trevor, and Trevor had hit him up, and he had asked Lauren Lando about me, and Lauren was like, "Hey, you will enjoy working with Von, and Von will enjoy working with you, and he needs you." And I just started talking to Trev on a weekly basis, and he really just helped me with my perception and the way I look at things. And I think that's a huge part of mental health is your perception, not only on the football field, but really in life, how you perceive things. And of course, we all come from different circumstances, and I know it's not easy. It's definitely not an easy thing to think positive and always be positive, especially, with some different circumstances and where people come from. But for me, I just have this huge sense of gratitude no matter what's going on in my life. Like, I'm grateful for, just to be a human being. Like, the earth is been here for 4.5 billion years old, and, the average human to live, 60 years to 90 years, like, that's a blink, to have the life that I have, and to be around the guys that I have, and to have the family that I have. And like I said, we all come from different circumstances, but for me, I just really look for the magic in all the little things, man. And I'm so grateful for everything that I have. And, for me, it's just the perception of things, and I really try to convey that to my teammates. You know, I try to convey, you know, the process over the outcome. You know, sometimes you get so caught in being an all-pro player or being a Pro Bowl player or winning a Super Bowl where you just forget to break it down into just one day. Like all I have is just this one day. And you start maximizing the day and you're doing everything that you possibly can do to have a great day, and you just stack days, and it's not always going to be great. Like, just because you think positive and you believe positive things happen, you know, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. But if you have a negative mindset and you just talking negative, and it's just, there's no way out of that. And so it's crazy for me, like because I've talked to this about my teammates when I first came here. Like, sometimes people try to say negative things and hope for a positive outcome, where they say, man, like, this team's good, man. I hope we can beat them. Like, you know, that's a negative mindset.
Yeah.
And I think we do that in life as well. We start with the negative and hoping that positive things will happen. But I just start with the positive, and I look for the positive things in everything. And that's what really helped me. And really looking at all the other greats from Kobe and LeBron and Tiger, and really focusing on their story and their mindset and what makes them great. Because success, it leaves clues. Like, successful people, they leave clues. Successful situations, they leave clues. And I just try to focus on those clues and try to put them into my life. And I truly believe that no matter what circumstance that anybody's in, like, it's another person that has been in that circumstance and killed it and made the max out of it.
Yeah.
And whether it's a podcast, like we got our podcast, like it's guys that have started a podcast like a farmer and
Voncast
and just bodied it. Like, you look at the Joe Rogan experience, and I just say to myself, like, you know, why not me? Like, why not like a farmer podcast? Why can't that be the biggest podcast in the world? And, you know, I just aim for the stars and everything, and that's where my mindset comes from, whether it's on the football field with my teammates or in life.
Damn. That got me pumped up. You're locked in, man. I mean, I can tell. I mean, I know you're on the pup list right now. I know you're dying to get back on that field. And what you just said is this doesn't happen. I know most of the sport fans out here listening to this and watching this, defensive players don't win the Super Bowl MVP. It just doesn't really happen. Von Miller won it. I mean, it just shows that you're just a badass, man. And not even on the football field, but in life. I mean, you're just locked in. Number one, and I don't mean to call you out, you're the oldest player on the Bills.
I was just thinking about that. Like, so, I was in a training room, and like, we was at St. John Fisher, and like, you know, you got guys coming in, and like, guy was born in 1999, and the guy was born in 2000 and 2020. I was like, whoa, like, I was born in 1989. I came into the league, and my rookie season was 2011. Like, Dalton Kincaid, like, Dalton, this is his rookie season. Like, this is my 13th year in the league, and I try not to put numbers on it. Like, I feel like it's a mindset. Like, especially like when I watch my colleagues, once they start saying like, "Oh, my back hurts," like, man, it's getting tough. Oh man, we got to practice again. Oh, full pads again. Like, it happens quick. Like,
no.
Next thing you know, they retire. The next thing you know, they're on a different team, and then they retire, and it just happens quick. And I truly believe, like, it's just the mindset, man. I don't even like the guys calling me OG, man. Like, I kick it with all the young guys. I kick it with Josh. Like, I'm around like the practice squad guys. Like, I like to surround myself with guys like that, because that keeps me hungry. It keeps that edge. And once you lose it, man, it doesn't come back.
Yeah. And we were talking before we went on. I mean, you're 47, 48 days without drinking right now. I mean, you're taking care of yourself. You're feeling good. I mean, you're ready to get after it.
Yeah. And it was just, you know, it's something that I just wanted to try to do. Man, I've been around some cool guys, man, whether it's Jordan Poyer or Max Crosby, like super cool guys, man. And it all started, like, we had the Pass Rush Summit, and, you know, the Pass Rush Summit is where we get a group of guys out and we talk football, we talk pass rush. Like, it's really like the Pro Bowl for pass rushers. Like, we bring all the young guys in, and it's an element where I can teach, and not only me, it's not the Von Miller Teach Clinic, it's really like iron sharpens iron. Like, I want to be around the young guy that's popping off sacks. I want to be around the Micah Parsons, the Max Crosby's. Like, I give something to them, they give something back, and it's really like a link and learn aspect of it. And also it's a fun time. Like, you have like the open bar for the guys if they want to drink.
Yep.
And, I was around Max, and Max was out partying with us till 4 o'clock in the morning, having the same amount of fun that we were having.
Yeah.
The difference between him, like after it's all done, he just drives home. And I just thought it was so cool that you can still have fun, you can still hang out, you can still do all the things that everybody else is doing. You're just not drinking, and I really admired that, and I was inspired by that. And one of my teammates, Jordan Poirier, like he's a soldier on the football field.
Yes,
like
he is.
He's one of the toughest people that I've ever been around. Like, and he's good on the golf course. Like, and that's my golf buddy. And we sit in the golf cart and talk. And he's not drinking. He's not having that beer that everybody has on the golf course. He's not doing none of that. And he's genuinely himself. And that's where it all started with me. I just admired those guys, and I was like, man, I want to try it, man. And you try it, and then you go 2 days, and then you go a week, and then you go 2 weeks, and then you go 3 weeks, and then you go a month, and then you start telling people about it, whether it's my assistant or my mom and my dad, and you put it on Instagram, and you get everybody else that like, say, hey, man, me too, man. I've been 6 months, and I've been 10 years, and it's like, once you make it public and you swim out there so far, like, it's really hard to go back. And it's something I really don't even think about it. I just, I found that I have, more time to, spend with my kids, and, I have more time to focus on football. It's not that, oh, man, it's Wednesday. I can't wait to go home and have a glass of wine. Like, I don't even, I don't even have those thoughts, man. And, I don't have an end date on it. I don't have, like, a goal. I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Good for you, man. Is JP beating you on the golf course?
Yeah, he does, man. And he said on the Pat McAfee show, and it's just how my brain works. Like, he's on the Pat McAfee show, man, and they had asked him, because I've been on the Pat McAfee show a whole bunch of times, and they're big golf guys too. And he was on there, and they asked him about like me, and they asked him like, how's Von? And he was like, man, he's getting better. And they was like, has he ever beat you? And he said, absolutely not. And everybody busted out laughing, and I was like, hey, man, like, what's funny? Like, and this is how my brain works. Like, I was like, man, what's funny? Like, and I just had to put him on my list, man. I got 3 people on my list to beat.
Who are the 3?
It's Jordan Poirier, because of that.
Yep.
It's Brandon McManus, which he's the best golfer that I've ever been around. Besides the pros and the golf pros and stuff, like the best football player, the best, whether it's pitchers, whether it's hockey players, all those guys are great at golf. Quarterbacks are always great, but he's the best golfer that I've ever been around, and he introduced me to golf. Like, he got me on the golf course, So it's like I got to be able to beat Sensei, and so it's Brandon McManus, Jordan Poirier, and DeMarcus Ware, and it's just DeMarcus because that's like that's my big brother, man.
Yeah.
I idolize him in so many different ways, on the football field, off the football field. He's a Hall of Famer. And he's just had this mind control on me on the golf course. Like, he's not a scratch golfer or anything.
Yeah.
He's not a scratch golfer or anything like that. But whenever we start golfing, he just has this mind control over me. Like, he starts hitting great shots and I hit a bad shot. And I'll fight back and we get even. And then it comes down to the last hole and I just end up shanking it. Like, he just has this mind control on me. So those 3 guys are the guys that I got to be able to beat one day.
That's awesome. The competitiveness that Von Miller has, there's something that hasn't been done before, and you're on track. You had been on 2 teams, and you won 2 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. Now, 3rd team, and there's never been a player in the NFL that's been on 3 teams and won 3 Super Bowls.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? I mean, is that on your mind every single season?
It is. Like, I can't say, I won't say that it's not. And I think that fuels me each and every day to take advantage of each and every moment because I can't do it by myself. Like, in my mind, I think like I go out here and win every game like by myself if I can. Like, I've done it before. Like, but the odds of that happening are very rare. So I influence my teammates, whether it's Josh. I don't know anything about quarterbacking. Like, but I like to spend time with Josh and just watch Josh and just, be positive, man, and just not necessarily give him tips on throwing the ball or give him or anything like that, but just to show him like I'm present, like I'm here, like I got your back no matter what.
Yeah.
To try to influence him to play at a level that he wouldn't normally play at, and that's for Josh, and that's for everybody at that organization, whether it's Brandon Bean, Coach McDermott, whether it's Jamarcus Ingram on the practice squad, everybody on that facility, everybody at the facility, man. I just show them that I'm present and I know that we can do it. And like you said, it hasn't been done. And selfishly, like I want that. I want to get there. I know I can't get there by myself, but I want that. I want to get there. I want to play in 3 Super Bowls. I'm tied with the Super Bowl sack record at 4.5 sacks. So all I need is a half sack to break that. Like, of course I want that. It drives me every single day. And it's I talk about the Super Bowl with the guys, and I try to like tell them how cool it is. Like, it's football heaven. Like, once you win, the confetti drops and they start blowing the trumpets and the music and the families run out. Like, it's cool, but it's so hard to tell somebody about something that they haven't experienced it before. But this Bills team, they want it bad, and I want it bad too.
Got a squad over there,
and it's so dope to be a Buffalo Bill. It's so dope to be a part of this winning culture. Last year we lost to the Miami Dolphins, and everybody was so sad, and not because we lost to the Miami Dolphins, because they actually believed that we was gonna go undefeated. Like, they truly believe deep in their hearts that we was gonna go undefeated all the way and win the Super Bowl. And I felt like that was super cool to be a part of an organization that believes in their ability to be able to get that done. So I'm in a great spot, man, and we'll be able to do it. It just takes a little bit of time, and talking about the Super Bowl, it adds pressure. It'll always be the goal. Like I said before, we just compartmentalize it down, and let's just take advantage of each and every day and focus on the process, not necessarily the outcome. And when we look up, confetti be dropping on us.
Yeah, you're in a great spot, man. Buffalo Bills, Bills Mafia. I love those guys, man. Bills Mafia is just, they're the best. I love them. I mean, NFL's a business, obviously, but do you see Buffalo being kind of where you're going to ride off into the sunset?
Man, I know I don't want to upset, any of my other fan bases. Denver was great to me, and LA was great to me, but this is where I see it. This is home for me. I don't have another stop, and I can say that. I don't, my mom always said, if you want to make, God laugh, start making plans. Like,
yeah.
But I'm happy, and I have a huge sense of gratitude, but I'm not content, man. Like, I want to continue to play. I want to continue to play as long as he allowed me to play. I want to continue to give it my all, man, and the end goal is what we talked about. I want to get it done. We will get it done. And, Bills Mafia, this fan base, this city, they deserve it, man. Like,
they do.
And I know a lot of fan bases, they say the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody, and deserve is such a crazy word.
Yep.
Like, because everybody feels like they deserve it. But this fan base, man, they need it. They need
Bills
it.
Mafia needs it.
They need it bad. They appreciate it like no other fan base. And we'll be able to get it done. It's just a matter of time.
I love that. I can't help but keep going without talking about the King on your shirt, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love that guy. We were talking earlier. I mean, you listen to country music.
Yeah.
Who you listening to now?
Of course, George Strait, Jason Aldean. Those are the Kings.
Swindell, obviously. Gotta go with
Coach
Cole.
Swindell. Ain't Worth the Whiskey is one of my favorite songs. Man, I love country music. You can't go to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
You cannot go to Texas A&M and not fall in love with country music. It's just part of it. Like, I'm from Texas. George Strait, like, I'm a huge George Strait fan. You can't be from Texas, go to Texas A&M and not have a pair of cowboy boots. Can't have some cowboy hats. You got to have some cowboy hats, and you got to listen to country music. Now, is it an everyday thing? Like, do I play country on blast all day, every day? I mean, no, I don't.
No,
but
yeah.
I love country music, and I love all music genres for sure.
That's awesome. And, I've been to Buffalo a couple of times. Like I said, I mean, I'm actually going to consider Buffalo my second home at this point. I freaking love them. I mean, there's some country music that gets blaring around Bill's Mafia and tailgates and all that. Those guys, I mean, have you, since being with Buffalo, do you ever go out there and see those tailgates, man? Like the table jumping and the food, I mean, all of it. I mean, that table jumping's unreal.
Man, so I got injured Thanksgiving, and I had a lot of time before the games to get to the stadium and like, you know, I wanted to go to like the tailgates and I wanted to be like a part of the magic, but it's just I wasn't able to do it. Like I was on crutches and stuff, and it's snowing like, and you see all the videos. Like I wanted to, you know, immerse myself in Bills and Mafia, but it just wasn't able to happen for me with my injury and everything. But you know, I love these guys, man. It's only 4 streets to get to the stadium. Like it's not a lot of ways to get here. Like, we drive the same route as all the fans, and you see all the fans setting up and. You know, after my triangle was on, after the first game of the season, and they had my triangle haircut on, I think it was Sunday Night Football. It was on Thursday, but it was Sunday Night Football, and they had it like all over the nation. I'm driving to the game, and they had free Von Miller haircuts. Like, and people were sitting down getting them. It was just like, bro, they love Buffalo Bills football here, and it's more than just a sport. It's more than just football. Like it's the culture here, and it's truly been a blessing to be a part of Bills Mafia, man, and we do our very best to try to bring that home for them.
Once again, shout out Bills Mafia. Love those guys. You talk about your injury. Both of your major injuries, and I'm tying this back to agriculture, obviously. I mean, they happened on turf. Like, is that a thing? I mean, was there similarities with that, or?
I mean, that's what the statistics say. The game was founded on grass. Like what would it look like if I had a chicken farm and I got like
turf?
And I got artificial turf, and then people ask me why. I'm like, man, it's to save money, and you know, I want to have concerts on the chicken farm, and you know, it just you know, it's just a element of the roots of the game. Like it was founded on grass. When you talk about farming, it's grass. Like no matter if it's any type of livestock, it's an element of grass, like natural grass, natural sunlight. And I'm tying them both in too. Like our roots of the game was founded on grass. Like, and of course you could say like, you know, people get injured on grass as well, but the rates are higher on AstroTurf, and of course, you know, owners have something come back and say, well, it's this and that, but the game is founded on grass. It's a football stadium for football, and I understand, like, you know, you get like concerts and all the stuff that you want to be able to do at these stadiums too, but it is a football team, and you have to take account of the people that use it the most, you know.
I agree.
The football players. You got to take an account of the livestock that you raise. You know, you got to have natural grass. We got a pasture-raised product. And I just truly believe in the roots of whatever we're doing. Like, you got to stay true to that, whether it's chicken farming or playing football. The roots of both of those things, natural grass.
Yeah, it's a great comparison. What another sport that we've been talking about and that you're passionate about? Golf. You see yourself maybe? I mean, like I said, you're getting old, right? I mean, 34, and in my opinion, I might do the same thing. We should just do it together. But senior tour, 50 years old.
I mean, I was just about to say that. You know, I got some huge dreams and aspirations. And I really don't like to say my true dreams as much because I don't like the negativity about it. Like, but the way I look at it, you know, I'm 34 years old. Senior tour is at 50. I've been playing golf for about 2 years now, so that'll give me 18 years to get ready for the senior tour. And I'm not. Of course, you got to respect the guys that have been playing golf since they're 2 years old. Like they just have a huge jump start. But I just truly believe in, you know, in my ability and the type of work that I will put in. Whenever it's time for golf, like, you know, I will attack it with the same mindset that I attack football with, and you know, that's just one of my dreams is, you know, to make it on the senior tour for sure.
Love that. And, you know, outside, another passion that I see outside of sports is, and I, like I said, I appreciate you letting us in your house today, but the Voncast, I mean, what's the goal with that?
Man, it just it started out with being approached by Bleacher Report, and like I said, they wanted to have a podcast, during the season,
Yep.
during the week, and I was like, man,
Yeah.
I'm so focused on football, like.
Yep.
Of course, wins, like, it's easy to talk to guys, like, but what about, like, if we do happen to lose, like, talking to guys after that. But once I got started, I'm able to compartmentalize both aspects of it. Like, I love talking to my colleagues around the league. I love podcasts. As you can see, I love to talk, and I love to share my passions, and whether it's mental health or, talking about my kids or getting to know other people. Like, I just love that element. And the people that work for Voncast, like, we got an all-female staff, and they do an incredible job of making sure that I'm prepared. They do an incredible job of making me feel confident. They do an incredible job of booking, interesting, whether it's football players. This year we have a golf segment.
Yep.
So they do an incredible job of making me feel comfortable and making me feel like I can do it. And once you have a couple of shows, man, it just becomes natural. I wouldn't say easy, because it's not easy. You can't fake it. You can't get in front of the mic, in front of these cameras and lights, and fake it. It doesn't work like that. So I'll never say it's easy, but it just feels natural for me. And I love talking to my colleagues about their passions in their life, and being able to give the mental health aspect in each and every segment that we do. And I think what's unique about my podcast is I'm not on there talking crazy about guys.
Yeah.
Like, I would never do that. And that was one of my pet peeves whenever I, took on, like, the project of having the Voncast with, like, I don't want to be on here. I don't want to have hot takes,
For
talking
sure,
crazy.
yeah.
If we go viral, I want to still go viral, like, just having a great conversation, or having interesting, people on our podcast, or the subject that we're talking about, to go viral. I don't want to, go viral talking about, like, something negative in the league. And that's that mindset. We had it, and they believed in that, and it just took off. So shout out to all of the wonderful people with the Voncast. Shout out to Like a Farmer for having me on, man. I definitely pay attention to you guys, and
thank you, man.
I'll be tuning in to all the things that you talk about as well, man. This was a great opportunity for having me.
I love that, man. There's a segment that we do on the show that I'd love to do with you, and it's called The Biggest Gamble. I mean, farmers gamble every single
100%.
day, as you know. What do you think's the biggest gamble you've taken in your life?
I rest the passer, man. Like, that's what I do for a living. Like, each and every day. Like, I play football, man. Like, every time you step on that field, like, it's a gamble. With everything, man. Like, it's a gamble with your body. It's a gamble. It's a gamble stepping out. And when I'm rushing the passer, like, going outside of what I'm supposed to do to go make that play is a gamble. Like, if you watch the way Josh Allen, plays the game, like, he's gambling out there. Like, he's gambling. He comes up big a lot. But the biggest gamble that I say I ever took.
And it can even be with greener pastures or anything in life.
Every day is a gamble. Like, I'm really thinking about it, but I think I can settle on, really just going all in with being a chicken farmer. Like, it's not easy. It's not a easy job. It's not you just pour money into something and it works. It doesn't happen like that. Like, you have to be present. I put, my money, like, usually, sometimes in farming, like, you take out loans and you pay it back, over 30 years, kind of like a mortgage. Like, I'm all in, like, I'm all in with this chicken business. I'm all in with greener pastures. And I wouldn't say it's a gamble because, I would say it's a gamble because it's an element of I could win or lose, but I don't think like that, man. I really don't. It is a gamble, but I just truly believe in the people that we have running it. I have a huge belief in Cameron and Paul Price and and Patrick Mahomes
Yep.
and Drew Brees and really myself, man. It's a gamble, but I just truly believe in my team that we'll be able to sustain and be able to create a sustainable product.
I love that. And before we end the last segment, I got to do this. It's called This or That. Okay? And I asked 2 this or that questions, and you asked me one.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go on the chicken side, man. You going flats or drums?
I like, man, because I know I'm gonna make somebody angry. Because it's really like you can tell a lot by right?
Yeah, you can.
You can tell a lot by somebody going, but man, I'm a flats guy because it's just more meat on the bones.
Yeah.
Like it's just more meat on the bones. Like now if if I'm eating wings with my significant other and she has some drumsticks, it's like what
Yeah.
like what's going on? Like are you a drumstick person? Like I'm a flats guy, but
Yeah.
you mix them up, combo me up, but
Yeah.
I prefer flats for sure.
I love that. You driving for show or putting for dough?
You need both.
You do need both.
You need both, but T-box is hard for me, man. Like
Yeah.
T-box is hard for me, and whenever the closer we get to the hole, the more and more confident I get. Whether it's chipping, whether it's 100 yards, I feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's good.
On the green with my putter, I feel comfortable. And I'm not trying to make it. I'm just trying to get it close. And sometimes you get lucky and it goes in.
I'm
like
with you.
sometimes you get lucky it goes in.
Playing
so
for the tap in.
I'm putting for dough. But I would love to drive for show, especially when my buddies around. I would love to be up there and just
I know.
and just strike one
Just
and
pop one down there.
and just beat one.
Yeah.
375 yards. I would love to do
I
that
know.
consistently, but
Sad that Von Miller walks up and hits it like 205,
man, I would love to be able to do that, but I putting for dough. That's where you save your scorecard.
There you go. All right, what would you ask me, this or that?
I would say Wrangler or Carhartt.
I'm old school, baby. Wranglers.
But Carhartt is old school too.
I know, but I'm going Wranglers.
I got you.
You're going Carhartt though, I guess.
I love Carhartt, man. I just love it with Wrangler too. Like you can wear them out and they still look good. Like, but I just have this strong passion for Carhartt, man. I'm sure they both compete, man. But I'm a Carhartt guy.
I love that.
This is a big one though.
Okay. Ooh, I like this, man. I'm going 2 today.
Ford or Chevy?
Oh my gosh.
You can tell a lot by God. You can tell.
I know, I know, and I hate. And this has been asked before. Oh my gosh, how do I answer this in the right way? I've got the citrus and cattle operation back home, and we drove Chevys our whole lives. But Vaughn and I'm kind of like the wild child in the family, right? Yeah. I switched to a Ford. I ain't ever going back, bro. I'm going Ford over Chevy all day.
That's dope. I got one more, and this for the farmers too. You put in long days.
Yep.
Early mornings or late nights?
I'm late nights. Yeah. Just because it's hard for me to sleep. Dude, I think about honestly, Vaughn, I think about Like a Farmer 24/7, and it's just hard for me to sleep. I mean, I'm grateful for the opportunity to sit down with people like you. Like literally last night, like I need to make sure this, and that. Like I take this very seriously, and it's tough for me to sleep. So I'm a late night guy.
Right.
Yep.
I'm an early morning guy, man. Like it's hard for me to sleep too, man. But
you want to get up and get after it.
When I get up, man, I can't. Even if I don't have anything to do, like even if I can sleep till 4 p.m., like I'm up every day, no matter how amount of sleep that I get the night before.
Yeah, ready to go.
I just have an alarm clock that goes off on me at 7 a.m., like whether I have the alarm set or not. Like
you're 7 a.m. Boom.
7 a.m. I'm up, regardless of what's going on.
That's awesome, dude. I can't thank you enough for coming on this show. I mean, I need everybody to realize or continue to realize what we talk about and who we are advocating for being the American farmer is something that needs to be taken serious. And to have you come on the show and to be a farmer today means a lot to me. And I wish you all the best of luck. And you are going to bring a championship to Buffalo. I can feel it. And I told that to Josh too. And I made a bet with Josh that if y'all win the Super Bowl that I was going to get matching tattoos with him. So I'd like to make a bet with you. If y'all win the Super Bowl,
I'll get a tattoo with you.
I'm gonna get a tattoo.
I ain't got that much space, man. But
I know.
I can make some. I still got the bottom of my feet. We can.
Okay, and then we'll do like a.
I got an armpit spot too.
So we'll do the Vaughn and Pat tattoo when y'all win that Super Bowl.
We gotta get it in on the armpit.
I appreciate
Hey, truly, man. I appreciate you guys for having me, man. Like a farmer, man, got so much love for all the farmers around the world, and especially the American farmers, man. It is not an easy job. It is something that I'm grateful for, and I have a huge appreciation for all the farmers that are not the pro athletes that can just start a farm. Like, I have so much appreciation for the generational farmers that have been doing this since great grandpa that is still in the family, and they're still keeping it going, man, and they're still doing all the hard tasks themselves. They're not bringing guys in.
Exactly right.
And they're not having another company come in and do it, or not selling off their company and keeping it in the family, man. I have a huge appreciation for all American farmers, man, and it was only right for me to come on the show, man, and I really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you ever need me, man, I got you, man. You might not ever need me, man, but if you ever need me, man, I got you, man.
I appreciate that, Vaughn.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, share, do whatever you got to do to be like a farmer.